Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is the second episode of Introduction to DevOps Engineering video series. Today we are going to break down the basics of Docker, what it is, why DevOps engineers use it, and how it can help you to run and manage applications more efficiently. If you are just getting started with the containers or have heard the buzzword Docker but weren't sure what it really does, you are in the right place. Let's dive in. What is Docker? Docker is an open source platform designed to help you build, test, and deploy applications quickly and consistently by packaging them into containers. So, what exactly is a container? Imagine this: you are written an application and it works perfectly on your machine, but when someone else tries to run it, maybe on a different computer or a server, it breaks. Missing libraries from Python or Node version, different configurations. It's a nightmare. Docker solves this problem by putting your app and everything it needs, code, dependencies, libraries, runtime, all into a single container. That container can run anywhere, and it'll behave the exact same way. Think of it like a portable box that holds your application and its entire environment. Virtual machines versus Docker containers. Now, you might be wondering, wait, isn't the what virtual machines do? Good question. Both VMs and containers allow apps to run in isolated environments, but there's a key difference. A VM runs a fully operating system, including a kernel, which makes it heavy and slow to start. A Docker container shares the host OS kernel and only includes the necessary dependencies. This makes containers much lighter, faster, and more efficient. With containers, you can run more applications on the same hardware with less overhead. Docker images and containers. At the heart of Docker are two concepts: images and containers. A Docker image is a read-only template that defines how to build your container. Think of it like a blueprint or recipe. A Docker container is a running instance of that image. It's the live version actively executing your app. Let's use a cooking analogy. The Dockerfile is the recipe. The image is the snapshot of the finished dish. The container is the dish being served and eaten, live and in action. How Docker works. Behind the scenes, Docker uses a client-server architecture. The Docker client is what you use to run commands like Docker build, Docker run, and so on. The Docker daemon or engine runs in the background, and it's responsible for creating and managing Docker objects like images, containers, networks, and volumes. They communicate via a REST API. When you run a Docker command, it talks to Docker daemon, and the daemon does the heavy lifting. What is a Dockerfile? A Dockerfile is a script containing a list of instructions on how to build your Docker image. Here is an example. Here, what this does. On this one, start from a Node.js base image, and this one, set the working directory inside a container. This one, copy all files from your project directory into the container, and this command, install dependencies, and this command to run when the container starts. This file ensures your app gets built and run exactly the same way every time. Basic Docker commands. Let's look at some essential Docker commands. And I'm planning to conduct live sessions regarding the Docker in future in this channel. In that sessions, I will be explain much about that. In this video, I'm going to explain the brief idea about the Docker commands. Let's look at the first command. Builds a Docker image from your Dockerfile. The second command lists all Docker images. The third command starts a new container from your image. The fourth one lists running containers. The fifth one stops running container. Sixth one removes a container. Seventh one removes an image. These are just a beginning, but they'll help you to get comfortable using Docker daily. And real-world use cases of Docker. Docker is widely used in both development and production. Developers use Docker to ensure their apps work the same across different environments. QA teams use it to spin up test environments instantly. DevOps teams use Docker in CI/CD pipelines for faster, cleaner deployments. Companies like Netflix, PayPal, and Spotify use containers to scale apps globally. Docker Compose. What is it? Sometimes your app isn't just a container. You might need a web server, a database, and a cache, all running together. That's where Docker Compose comes in. Docker Compose uses a Docker compose.yml file to define and run multi-container applications with a single command. You can see the example of YML file. Just run Docker compose up command and everything starts at once. So, why Docker is essential for DevOps engineering? Docker isn't just a development tool. It's a core technology in modern DevOps pipelines. Here's why it's important. Number 1. Consistency across environments. Developers, testers, and production teams all run the same container. No more works on my machine issues. Docker guarantees that the code runs the same way everywhere. Number 2. Faster CI/CD pipelines. In DevOps, speed and automation are everything. Docker lets you build, test, and deploy codes quickly. Tools like Jenkins, GitHub Actions, and GitLab CI use Docker images to spin up clean, isolated environments for every build. Number 3. Infrastructure as code. Docker makes your application environment version controlled. Everything is defined in your Dockerfile or Docker Compose YAML file. That means your infrastructure is repeatable, portable, and trackable, just like your code. Number 4. Microservices and scalability. DevOps favors microservices architecture, and Docker is ideal for that. You can split large applications into small, manageable services, each running in its own container, independently deployable and scalable. Number 5. Simplified rollbacks and updates. Want to revert to an older version? Just redeploy the previous Docker image? Need to scale up? Use orchestration tools like Kubernetes or Docker Swarm to launch more containers automatically. Number 6. Improved monitoring and debugging. With containers, you can monitor, log, and trace each service independently, making it easier to detect, debug, and fix production issues. For a DevOps engineer, Docker is more than just a tool. It's a foundation for automating builds, tests, and deployments with reliability, speed, and scalability. If you found this video helpful, give it a like to support the channel. Subscribe for more beginner-friendly DevOps and tech tutorials. Share it with friends or teammates who are learning Docker. Thanks again for watching and see you in the next one.